everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of That Range Life, a show sometimes about golf. As you can see, the man, the myth, not a legend, Chris McEwen is back from the Dominican Republic.
I made it.
Say you could tell he looks nice and tan with a slick look going, but it's too dark in that room. You can't tell. Anyway, Chris is back. Thank you to Victor Afable for joining us last week and keeping the ship afloat. Chris, welcome back. Good to see you.
Thanks, Bill. It's good to be back. Even
How
though
was
it's
the trip?
it was the trip was pretty great. 4 days on a beach in the sun. You can't, and with copious amounts of previously paid for alcohol, since we were on an all inclusive. It's not much to complain about.
You should probably say something in just that valuable time with your wife.
Also that.
Yeah, see?
Also that. See, so the funny thing about we'll talk about my wife and her vacation habits. So my wife has an internal clock in her head where she has to do something. Like she starts to get antsy, So it's tough when, like, I can lay on a beach and read a book for 4 days straight, which I mostly did, but she needs to do something every once in a while. So on vacation, we both wear Fitbits. We walked about 30,000 steps a day on vacation, to the point where, like, on the last day of our vacation, I'm like, please, can we not do that again? Because it's great. I mean, it's open beach. You can walk forever, but that's too many steps for a vacation. I
was explaining to my wife, can't remember. Maybe it was my sister. It was my sister. Long story short, there's a story about I got sun poisoning in Florida one year on spring break. And I don't know if I just never realized it, but she admitted, she's like, oh yeah, and it's my fault. And I thought she was like being sarcastic. Like maybe she got blamed for it and it wasn't her fault. She would have been in high school, Yeah. I'm 6 years younger than her. And I'm like, oh yeah, what, why, how did you get blamed for it? She goes, oh no, it was my fault. I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, I didn't put enough sunscreen on you. I said I'd do it like you were a little kid. I go, oh yeah, I'll put sunscreen on. I didn't put enough on you and you got sun poisoning.
Oh my God.
Well, I told her, I go, here's the best part though. This is me in Florida. Even to this day, I'd be like, everybody's going to the beach, everybody's going to the pool, and I'm going, I'm really good sitting here in this air conditioning, watching TV, looking at the ocean and beach through the window.
Right.
And my family, when they watch as well, I'll vouch for it. They'll be like, oh, let's go walk on the beach. Let's go do this. I'll be like, I don't know. There's a new episode of Wild and Out on MTV that's coming in right now, and this air conditioning is great.
Right.
I'll see you when you're back.
Oh,
and there's a bottle of rum in the kitchen. So
right.
But yeah. So I know what you're saying, except like I said, it's just for me, it'd be sitting in the air conditioning, looking out the window, and be like, that's a beautiful beach. Bet people are enjoying it.
Yeah.
But you're back, and you came back just in time for our great weather, huh?
Yeah, that's it welcomed me with open arms, I guess. All the nice snow and cold. That's the thing, man. When you walk out of O'Hare from a place like that in February, it's like, oh my gosh. It punches you right in the face.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst.
Yeah.
So did you follow much of the golf to-dos while you were in Punta Cana?
I did see that a certain report came out from the USGA and RNA.
What report was that, Chris?
Well, it wasn't a report, right? I guess technically it was, but they called it like the Distance Insights report. It wasn't just like it wasn't just data, right? They actually did their whatever. They came back with some thoughts on it this time. Usually they just say here's the data. This time they came out with some apparently some I wouldn't call it actionable items, but they said something needs to end. Like this has to stop. Right?
And for a variety of reasons.
Right.
What has been, I don't know about you. I tweeted a good friend who comes up on the show every now and then, Adam Unfiltered of Golf Unfiltered. That is legally his last name. He's providing a lot of thoughts on the debates back and forth, but like pretty high level. It's sort of like guys, everyone relax a little bit and just sort of some general, all right, listen, everyone, those kinds of thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
That was day one. Day two, I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, if I get one more email from whatever source and see one more tweet, it's day two. So I put a tweet out and I just go, I'm already sick of talking about the distance report. I can't take any more takes. Have you been following the takes and other people's thoughts at all?
Well, I have been, but only because like we have no choice. If you're on Twitter and you're in the little golf Twitterverse, you're gonna get all the takes, but none of the takes have changed. Well, Chambly's takes have changed because he's all over the place, but everyone picks their little piece of the debate and then it takes off from there, right? So everyone's arguing about something different, and I think we talked like we said before, or I said before, it's basically a political debate. No one's going to change their stance. It doesn't matter. People are going to say either don't change my ball, right? Or you're making there's a solution for the 1% or whatever it is. Everybody, it's like we can't even agree on what to disagree on. And it's just this horrible week. And I actually when I saw that the report came out and I was on vacation, I was just relieved that I wasn't going to be part of it. And I really just kind of stayed out of the way because it's such a nothing gets accomplished from it. Nothing gets accomplished from it. Everyone goes into their corners and they have their own little mini debates. And then we move on and we talk about the Masters coming up.
I think Phil, his take, and I'm not a Phil guy. I'm openly not a Phil guy. I'll admit too, he's done great in the world of social media. He is a treasure to golf social media. I will admit it. And I know he's one of the most generous guys with his tips. Like there's a lot of pros to Phil. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
I'm just not a Phil guy.
Right.
And it's okay. It's fine. But I will say, I feel like he did this sort of, I don't know enough to weigh in on it, but I'll say this, and the little bit I do understand, which is his, MO. He was going, the equipment, if I'm being honest with you, and I'm partially paid to sell equipment, I'm paraphrasing. These aren't direct quotes, because I know I could get roasted for that by, our six.
It's not what he said, Bill. It's not what he said, Bill.
It's not what he said. You're allegedly out of context. You're the problem with media reporting. Like, no kidding. I know that. But he's like, the equipment really hasn't evolved in these last 10, 20 years amongst the best players. The best players, Dustin Johnson didn't exist 20 years ago, but Tiger was using, what would be considered horribly crappy equipment back in 1999,
right? And
rifling drives 340 yards. That's not the equipment. Now, I think no one will argue the ball has evolved quite a bit. But Phil's point is, you look at Bryson, you look at Brooks, you look at all these guys in the fitness regiment they all follow, and then you consider with them, they're athletes, and they're training to be better at their craft. They found better ways to get physically bigger, stronger, just whatever, more in tuned as an athlete in golf. Well, they're the ones getting punished for it if you start rolling back all the gear and, basically not allowing them to be the best players they are with their athletic ability. Now, I don't think he's saying you can't move equipment further or you can't stop it from moving further. He didn't. Yeah. I don't think he said that.
Yeah.
But we've talked about this before. Maybe stop baking all the fairways so the ball doesn't roll an extra 110 yards off a tee shot. The European Tour is making a big deal of some guy, forgot his name. I apologize to him. It was a good shot. Hit a 350-yard 2-iron at their last event. And I see a comment on Facebook, and that guy goes, yeah, because it hit the fairway and rolled another 150 yards. It wasn't this monster of a shot. Here's an idea. Bake them. Don't let that happen. Oh, this guy hit all these guys. It was a Phil shot. Phil hits a wedge from some distance out, hits the rough behind the green. Admittedly, it's sloping back to the green. It hits and pulls back down that rough onto the green. Grow that rough longer. If he can get that much spin back where you hit the ball, grow that rough longer.
Right.
You shouldn't be able to get this much spin out of the rough.
Right.
So I think his point was there are other ways we can protect this, but punishing guys for being in good shape and just being better golf athletes doesn't make sense. I went, all right, Phil. All
Yeah,
right.
there's also so this is where arguments start to get jumbled, right? There's also the purist um, argument where they say golf was meant to be played, not, the bomb and gouge guys, right? Driver, wedge, driver, wedge. Like, you need to challenge them with each tool. Like, so they need to hit a little bit, some more 4 irons, or they need to hit whatever. They need to play more of the bag, and the distance issue is that they don't need to use as much of the bag as they used to. So there's a couple of, I mean, let's be radical about it. Like, what if let's just stop lengthening courses. Period. End of story, right? So if they can reach a green and they want to go for it, 5 years from now, let's say the average drive is 320. All right. Well, this par four is, let's say it's a smaller green and it's 330. You want to go driver for it? You want to, like, maybe it's just the evolution of the game in the first place. Or what if what if you only allowed 10 clubs?
Yeah.
You
Well,
could do it that way.
and to the point, as they're having these discussions off the professional circuits, let me ask you this. Are you going out to a course with all new latest and greatest gear with the new best ball, insert ball of choice here, and shooting like 6 under par?
No.
So as far
No.
as I'm concerned, this isn't a problem for most of us. And I get where they're like, oh, course design and maintenance. Like, you don't need to come to my local muni and
Right.
extend it. But I mean, I play there. I watch how bad people are. You can go make it 1,000 yards longer. It's not going to make any difference at that course. So I think,
Right.
His last comment was, we're the only professional league being dictated to by amateurs and have no, where
I
the
saw
professional
that.
has no insight. And I go, it's a fair point. Now, who knows? And I'm
The other thing that bothers me about the argument in general is that there's this like this current concern about the OEMs. Like, well, they're going to have to spend so much money and do all this research. Like, the OEMs will be fine. And in fact, I would bet every ball company right now is testing a reduced flight golf ball or a higher spin golf ball. I guarantee you they've got it in their back pocket.
This has been talked about for so long. If you think the big names haven't been preparing for, like, well, what are we going to do when the day comes? Though I don't know, this is a golf industry, but what are we going to do when the day comes where they go, hey, you can't do a ball like this anymore. Just sit and complain about it for 2 years and miss out. No, like, we have to be ready to respond. So,
yeah. And the marketing plan would be, and I can guarantee, we know that it happens right now with equipment already, right? Play what Rory plays, play what Tiger plays, play what Ricky plays. If they bring out a ball that's a professional rated ball, why wouldn't you want to challenge yourself and play that ball as an amateur? Like, you know what? I'm going to try that ball. Like,
yeah.
There's going to be guys that do it. There's going to be golfers that are like, you know what? I want to play Rory's limited flight ball, high spin ball, and see what I can score on it.
So speaking of playing what the pros play, and you mentioned, I want to play what Ricky plays. A good friend of yours and mine, Josh Rivera, aka ChrisMcEwen.com cameraman.
Cameraman Josh, that's right.
Cameraman Josh shoots me a text yesterday. He says, "Hey man, I'm going to the Golf Dome at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Do you want to go?" I said, I can't, but hey, maybe next weekend or something. And he's like, yeah, hey, by the way, do you have a lead on anybody with some Cobra stuff? I kind of am thinking that's where I'm going to go next. And, when I get new gear.
Yeah.
Like, Josh, yes, I have some Cobra stuff. What would you like to try? And he's like, what? I mean, what do you got? And oh, well, I can't give you the new driver yet. I got review stuff to do, but I do have that. But I still have the F9 if you want to try that. I have the new Forge Tech irons that I reviewed and loved them. We'll see. They might get bag time this year. It's February. We don't know yet. And I go, but I also have the forged CBMB combo set from last year. He's just like, oh, yep, that sounds like everything I need to check out. And I
What a coincidence. What a
And then,
coincidence.
yeah, he obviously alluded to he may have been tipped off by a common friend about the two of ours. And I went, oh, okay. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. If you want to swing by tonight, grab it. We'll have a adult soda in the garage and mess around with some golf clubs a little bit, and you can figure out what you want to take. So he came over. He came over for a bit and ended up leaving with the driver, a few clubs from 2 sets of irons, and then I said, listen, I started talking like total golf gear nerd and like, well, this isn't professional fitting, but there's some things to be mindful of. Like, you could hit this shaft and be like, oh, it feels like garbage. This whole club stinks. And it's not really the club. It's just a bad setup. So I sent him with a handful of other shafts.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah. And I'm like, here you go, Josh. And he's like, gee, thanks. Like, listen, bud. Not a big deal.
Right.
So yeah, Josh was here last night. And, then we started texting you and saying, welcome home. And you were probably like, hey, I'm going to bed. You're both idiots, which is fair. So I also want to point out, not related to this, I have a beer to enjoy while we're doing the show. I was going to pour it into this glass because it's in a bottle and, drink like a man in a glass, right? But then on my desk, I saw this from my cousin-in-law's bachelor party 2 years ago, which was, it's 2 years ago. Sounds like a good number. And it was a great time. Just went out. It was like literally this time of year, running around all that new Rosemont area, going to the casino and a couple bars. And when I got to the hotel they were all meeting up at, I got handed this by his brother-in-law. And I was like, I'll just put the bottle in this. Like, you didn't notice that leather vest with the zipper. Chain. I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
Sweet. I don't know. Harley Davidson, never heard of it.
Yeah. Slightly familiar with it.
I'll drink my beer out of this. Thank you. All class on that range life.
What kind of beer? Describe it to me. What is it? What are you drinking?
It is a Jackie O's. I think they're out of Ohio. I'm not sure. Bourbon Barrel Dark Apparition. It's just a barrel-aged stout.
Okay.
It's boozy.
Yeah.
And a lot of burn, and I'm regretting having it, but it is tasty. Making bad choices, kids, on a Sunday night.
That's right. I'm already pretty much finished with my second bourbon, so
you're catching up from dry January that you cheated on. So
it's my dryish January.
Yeah, full of shit. All right. Anyway, moving on. So I don't know if you recall, and again, from our 6 viewers, I took a little heat in our first episode because I was talking about, I got to tell you, I do not care about playing golf. And, that whole speech about just, I don't care.
Yeah. Speaking of bullshit.
To play.
Right.
Well, the urge has come back. It's official. And it came out of, again, a mutual friend of ours does some stuff in the golf industry, and he's now gotten both of us in touch with this online coaching platform called Golfin.
Right.
It's no G on the end of that, just Golfin apostrophe. Well, they don't do the apostrophe, but you get it.
Right.
So they said, hey, we've been following your wedge yips series. That's a depressing story. Let's fix that. Awesome. I'm in. So it's interesting because you do it online. They're in England. Small world. They're right where I go for work. It's very fascinating. I'm talking just down the road going, oh yeah, I know exactly where that is. But I get paired with this guy. We'll talk about him another time, and because I got a lot of good things to say about him, I think. And I find, there's a little bit of a delay in the back and forth and exchange, especially this time of year, because he's like, hey, can you send me some videos? And I'm going, well, no, because Blizzard.
Where? Yeah.
So I got out to the dome, a different dome the other weekend, got him some videos, and a little time passes, and he does audio over him, does all the lines, explains everything.
Really?
Yeah. And I go, oh, God. Oh, it's so bad. It was so bad. And I told him, after watching the videos, like I was getting so defensive and upset as he's sitting there,
Really?
everything wrong with it. And what was weird about it is he was absolutely right. It's like when your parents, you're a kid and you get in trouble for something, and you like, even though you know they're right, you're so mad at them.
Right. Yeah.
And same kind of a deal. I'm like, yeah, my wedge game sucks. What I'm looking at in this video is terrible. And everything you're saying is correct. Why am I being defensive over it? Finally, I do get over it, though. And, okay, I get it. It's just embarrassing. It is ultimately what it comes down to.
Right.
But
Right.
he pointed out like 2-3 things, and it's like, well, like, okay, yeah, I've had a handful of these things I've been working on. It makes sense that they're troublesome. I was like, oh my God, holy shit, these are terrible. How did I even think this is how it works? And and it was funny because then he made a comment. One of them was like, I don't know if you do that with all of the clubs in your bag. Don't. Don't.
Just stop doing that.
And I went,
right.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. And thankfully I don't, which then leads me to, well, if I don't do that with my other clubs, why the hell am I doing it with my wedges?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here going, oh my God, this guy might finally have these things. I'm going and doing the whole, like, don't be that guy shadow swing in my garage or in my basement, just trying to figure it out. And I'm even just doing that. I go, oh my God, this is going to be revolutionary for my wedge yips.
Yeah.
And maybe the wedge world altogether. I don't know. So went to the Dome today, and like first 3, it's like, oh, I've been hitting wedges like this again all my life. And I'm sitting there going, yeah. And I bet you, and I can see how a lot of this applies to all the other clubs I hit. And okay, I hit a good 7-iron. Now that one wasn't so great. And you know what? I did similar things I've been having issues with on my wedge.
Yeah.
And so I'm going, oh my God, if I can figure, it's going to take a ton of work, but if I can like take this and apply it to everything, I'm like, oh my, I might be good. Like, not good. I'm not going to be good. It might be decent again. And whereas someone goes, you talk about golf equipment, they're like, oh, this is what, okay, you can play. You're allowed to talk about golf equipment. Got it. So I'm back. For those who are concerned, I officially care and want to play good golf again this season. Nice. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that.
Nice. Yeah, I guess I'm going to get a crack at, it won't be, so you took like the chipping or short game version of Golfin?
Well, so
like, how does that work? Do they, because I'm joining. I'm jumping in. I'm going to go after it. But I don't have the yips. I'm a tremendous short game player.
It's what they say about you. I saw you at sub 70. I mean, a place we're going to talk about later.
Right.
So Dave, our buddy Dave, reached out to me and he's like, hey, your wedge yip series is killing me. It's so funny. He goes, I've just started this relationship with these guys. Perfect opportunity. Let's get that fixed. And I went, oh, yep. All right. And I mean, I'll talk more about Golfin, I think, when I'm done with this, and especially when you are. Yeah. But I was like, to this point, I was kind of skeptical going into it. And I think, given how we're going about doing this, it's not like you found the website, signed up, right?
Right.
Let's just be honest. Humble brag there. We're so golf media.
Right.
Watch out, Shackleford. So Dave's like, gets me in touch, and I think you generally, regardless, start with this main guy, Sam. Good guy. And so if you sign up through their site, the process will automatically kick this stuff off, but I had to do it a little more manual with him. And he's like, all right, you're signed up, you're registered, you're going to get this email with a questionnaire. And yeah, I told him more so like what I would like to do, quote unquote, content wise.
Okay.
And I'm like, hey, this wedge yip series, I understand you're aware of it. My goal for this would be, I don't want to do like, oh, I had one lesson. Okay, this is their platform. It's cool. I want to work with you and fix it. Maybe that's 6 weeks. Maybe that's 12 lessons, or maybe it's 2. I don't know. But like, that's the story. That's a better story to tell. And he's like, yeah, I agree. So fill out this questionnaire, and then they go based on that and figure out, Here's what you're trying to work on. Here's who we're going to pair you with because that's what they do. So this guy I got paired with is very fascinating. Like, just his whole story is very fascinating. I'm a big fan. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm a big fan of him. Time will tell. But I'm pretty sure I'm a big fan. And he stopped doing basically like what he would call a full bag lesson some time ago and just does short game and putting. That's all he does. And this thing, like England, I can't speak for like all of Great Britain, but I will say England specifically, I know a lot of people in that golf culture just from being over there.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because we're so like new, latest and greatest equipment, collectors, putters and head covers. They are very much, go buy a $400 putter and never buy one again. You know, they're not, their equipment is the means to the end of playing good golf. So they do a lot more. I think they really focus on their lessons and learning from professionals, whatever. So this guy's doing the short game thing. And I gotta tell you, you're just sitting there and talking to him. I learned just the first, you do a consultation, like a video conference.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there listening. I go, oh my God, yeah. No, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like somewhere between shrink and player coach.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's probably all
that's awesome
coaches. But it was just, it's really good stuff. And then so in this video, he sent me like talks over my videos. And then, so he sent me my 2 videos back with the commentary over it that I was too defensive of, which was hilarious to me. And then he sent me like 22-minute video where it's those first 2 videos put together.
Mm-hmm.
And then a third part, which is very specialized, like him out on the range, talking about my swing, what I'm doing and things to try to stop it. And I would start, it wasn't so much here's a drill, but here's me showing you these things if you want to go practice them. And then he followed up with like, so I'm happy if you want to get on a video chat, if there's something you want to ask me and I can send back. So I sent back like, let's do a video chat just so I can be like, I'm on your same page. But that's the process in a nutshell. I feel like you asked the process and I gave you the story I experienced through said process. So for you, I don't know if they're doing you tell me if they're doing so much like a focused, this is something you want to work on, or if they're doing like, hey, you don't know anything, here's the link, fill out the questionnaire.
Yeah, we'll see. I haven't kicked off the process yet because I was out of the country.
No,
when you were learning how to how to chip. So we'll see.
What if you were to say today, man, I could really use, this is what I'd want from a guy to fix my awesome golf game. What do you think you try to get fixed?
Probably long irons. I have no confidence whatsoever with my long irons. So, and long irons, I'd consider a 6-iron and above. I don't want to use them.
It's 6-iron and longer.
Yeah. Right.
And not that I didn't know that, but I feel like I always love that. Like, is it longer? High?
I don't.
Whatever. Which way do you go? Lock goes up, number goes. Oh God.
Whatever. But I think we may have talked about this before, but I don't use my driver a whole bunch, because we don't tend to, when we play, we play from the appropriate tees. I feel like, and since I'm so. My day job is kind of I do like risk assessments for a living, right? Like, and so
you're like Ben Stiller in Along Came Polly.
Yes. So on the golf course, it's never worth the risk to use driver. So maybe driver is my where I need the help.
You realize you're not a professional golfer, right? And you're not.
I know. Everyone says. So I know. So I have a pal who the golf pro at Bartlett Hills I won't name drop him, but we've talked about, the game of golf, and he's like, why just send it, man? Just hit driver, just send it. Like who Who do you think you are? Just go and just hit driver. Who cares?
You might lose that $2 Top Flight gamer you're playing, you know?
Right.
God forbid that happens.
You haven't discovered how cheap I can be, Bill, when I go and look for a pinnacle for, a good 10 minutes.
Listen, well, good. It gives you something to do for 10 minutes after you spray your driver. Or even it's like you see it on the other side of the fence. You can go have fun, negotiating with the resident of the house. Like, look, I know the rules. Can I just get that pinnacle
Right, I
rock
just need
back?
the golf ball, please.
You don't understand. Along came Polly. It's a long story. I'm cheap. I got kids in college. Just can I please get that 50-cent water ball back?
Oh, speaking of golf balls, did you see the new Acushnet golf ball announcement?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
Should I have?
So,
Hey, golf guy here.
So Acushnet, is that how you say that company? So the company that owns Titleist,
Like
right?
Kush ball? No, it's a Cushnet. Like push.
Acushnet. All right, whatever. Acushnet. They came out with Union Green. It's a new golf ball. So basically,
Is it Titleist branded?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not Titleist branded.
By the way, how did I miss this? And
I
then
don't know.
You know what? And I love that I did.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's the non-golfer's golf ball. So basically, it's the Vice and Cut. It's the Titleist version of Vice and Cut. They have a 2-piece and a 3-piece golf ball, discounted golf ball, not a pinnacle. But yeah, they just announced this Union Green golf ball.
Have we talked about the discount golf ball that I have? Not that you probably didn't hear that I just got.
No.
It's actually, it fell down under my desk while we were talking. Hang on, let me grab it.
So while he's grabbing that golf ball, this is something we haven't talked about.
Great opportunity for you go. He's grabbing his balls.
Too easy.
Too many. That's golf for you. Too many bad euphemisms.
Right.
So I've never heard of them.
Oh, I haven't heard SD01. All right.
Seed is the company.
Okay.
I heard about these from the Tour Edge guys. And in short, it's a company, I think, out of Ireland. I'm not sure where, but the guy, they're playing in that more. I don't know over here as much. I don't know. I really don't know much about them. I have to hit them.
Okay.
And I'm almost upset. I'm talking about them now. I'm like, I'm going to start this ball rolling and get this poor guy inundated with golf nerds being like, do you want me to test your ball for you? But
he's talking about me, ladies and gentlemen. That's who he's talking about.
No, because I would just give you some. I'm talking about every other real hard golf guy.blogspot.com/golf blog, right? Anyway,
right.
Which that was mean. I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, so he's doing it at least in the UK. I don't know if his plans to be global, but if you think about it, I think Vice gets around the globe pretty well. I don't know about Hutt, Snell, and the rest of them, but I can't imagine being the models based on margins and stuff. There's a lot of international movement of those balls, so there might be a market for it. But either way, the Tour Edge guys, or I should say, this one guy at Tour Edge who's friends with the guy had a bunch of them, and so they sent me home with the old 12-pack.
Nice.
And now I just need it to be like 2 months from now and go lose a few of the Bartlett Hills backyards and tell you I don't care.
Yeah, so I speaking of being, when I was on vacation, I didn't feel like I needed to play golf. Now that you're bringing it back up, and then you see like green grass, like legitimate green grass, and you're like, man, I want to hit a ball off of that so bad.
I don't even care where it goes. I just want to hit it.
Right. I'll hit it into the ocean. Doesn't matter. I just want to hit a golf ball off of grass.
It's not very environmental of you as Pebble Beach. Was it Pebble Beach? Was it last year? There was a big
Yeah.
God. Oh, I gotta find it. The video of the. I think it was a girl, I think, who just scuba dives around. I was starting to think of Monterey Peninsula there. Scuba dives around the Monterey Peninsula and that whole area and just recovers thousands upon thousands of golf balls. And they're saying, of course, there's a legitimate improvement to sea life. And I don't know if that's true, but it was a cool video.
Yeah.
And that's big too. What is it? Whistling Straits. They have that big rock off the one tee box, and they made it's like 165 yards out. And they used to make a big deal. The pros betting on trying to hit it, and they're showing like so when they were out there in the 2015 PGA Championship, they're showing guys and they're actually hitting it. It was neat. But now they have signs up when you go there. They're like, "Don't do it. We don't want you doing this." And the caddies will be like, "So we're not allowed to tell you how far out it is. We know. And we're not allowed to tell you to do it. And it's fun and you should do it."
Yeah.
That's all we'll say. So naturally, like every group that comes through still does it.
Right.
Lake Michigan's so polluted, though. Who cares? So
fair enough.
It's fine. Asian carp, zebra mussels or whatever. We're done for.
Right.
Chicago Mafia, that lake's littered. So now that you're back, what I feel like you're gonna. Well, I know one project you have, which I won't make you talk about. That's gonna take up some time. But what are you getting after to get back on the horse and get the Chris McEwen machine running again in golf term?
That's a good question. So I've got some podcasts podcast guests that I'm very excited about that are coming up. One of them is a New York Times bestselling author.
Jimmy Fallon.
It's not Jimmy Fallon.
Howard Stern.
Also not Howard Stern.
Hillary Clinton.
Not Hillary. Sorry.
Michelle Obama.
No, it's not Michelle Obama.
I give up. I don't know any more best-selling authors.
It's Tom Coyne.
Oh.
That's
not what I guessed.
Yeah, right. So and that's just, one of the many names that have somehow said yes to my ridiculous little podcast.
How's that work? Have you just literally been like, I'm going to put together a list of names and just
100%
throw spaghetti at the wall and see who comes back?
100%.
That's
I've
wild.
yet to have, and here's the cool thing about I know we tend to give the golf world, media world a tough time. And you're coming on the show, by the way, at some point, whether you like it or not.
It's going to be hard to tone down, like stop being an idiot and actually just have a conversation that's legitimate.
Right. But I will say this about the golf world. They are willing to say yes about the unknown. If you're part of that little group, like I will say this, like no one has said no. And I'm at this point right now in this conversation, I'm 5 episodes in, something, 4 episodes in. And as I reach out to people, they're like, okay, sure.
So you haven't had any no's yet?
I haven't had a single no yet.
All right, I'm not coming on. There's one no.
I knew it. I knew you'd say no.
Someone has to be the contrarian.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool. And I've had it's been a fun little experiment. The other piece of it will be I'm heading out to Club Champion this week to do some stuff for another pal of ours.
Yep. Yeah. I imagine the Willowbrook one.
Yes, the Willowbrook one. Of
course. Are we not?
It couldn't be the one that's right down the street from me. It's got to be the one I have to get into a car and drive to.
Yeah, that one's the best one. I haven't been to the city one lately, but that one's cool. It's fine. Right. It's funny. They redid it. It used to be in this building across the street, which is now just their like corporate build shop and offices because they've blown up. Okay, and so they built out a whole new store. And it's the first time I saw it was, I don't know, 3 months ago, and stopped in to say hello to some friends. And I got to tell you, it's awesome.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. And I'll be behind the camera. And so I'll get to boss a bunch of people around. And
it's not a Chris McEwen production, which is the best part.
Right. That's exactly right. And then
I'm surprised we're not having a big regional like confab or anything like that again.
I know. We should. Maybe you should just crash it. I know where we're gonna be after hours.
What? I'm friends with all these guys. I don't know what to tell you.
Right. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm in the middle of editing a little that Range Life project.
Yeah, and I got like 3 more of those in the works, by the way. So you have that to look forward to.
Great.
I just come up with the ideas. You do the work.
Right. Right. Fair. I don't mind
Well, that's all I really have. I could talk about a bunch of gear stuff. Got some good reviews. Well, as of
it. You
this
have gotten some
discussion
good stuff in.
coming up,
Yeah.
but by the time this drops on Thursday, at least if we do our jobs,
Right.
uh,
My job.
I'm gonna have a new fairway wood up on Monday. I will have had a new fairway up on Monday. I think I got a pretty cool driver shaft that people are excited about. Nope. I take that back. On Wednesday, we have a review. We will have had a interview, actually. And funny enough, you're going to Club Champion in Willowbrook.
True.
It is with a guy there about some equipment. That'll be up on Wednesday. But yeah, man,
Cool.
golf industry starting back up. Cool gear to hit. And
Yeah.
I got a new pair of shoes coming tomorrow. I'm really excited.
Oh man, alive.
I need them. You know that. I need another pair of shoes.
Right. Yeah, and from behind you there, it looks like you could use another driver or two or three. Oh, you didn't talk about your new fancy chair either. Tell me about this new highfalutin chair that you've got there.
See, that might be off center. That is a new office chair. I had the same office chair for like 10 years. And I was thinking, man, I'm really comfortable in my chair at work, which I've had for 7 years. I go, my chair at home, I'm just so sore and it's uncomfortable, whatever. So my dad is the king of finding like killer office furniture where you're like, God, this had to be like a $2,000 chair. He's like, no, I got it on closeout for $180. All right. So I said, Dad, I need a new office chair. Keep an eye out. He goes, well, do you want one for your birthdays? What else are you going to get me? Sure. Went to the store, picked one out, and I'm like, man, I didn't realize how horrible my chair was. This thing, life-changing. So I think the bigger point is these shows are only going to get better. Sit in the chair every time we make them. And I bet you I'm probably sitting a little higher today. I'm probably showing more confidence and exuberance. People are picking up on my new chair energy.
Right. I was. That's why I brought it up.
I can lean back. I can sit up. You can lock it. So like next time I lean back, it just stops.
Oh yeah. It's like a lean back governor.
New technology. Actually, it's not new. And it's like I can totally imagine when I just my chair does that too. Yeah, I know. Okay. But yeah, so on that note, we're talking about office chairs. Probably a good time.
It's true.
To wrap things up.
It's true.
Hopefully we'll have more exciting things. I'm sure something crazy will happen in the golf world between now and then. If not, that's fine too. Clearly we can talk about dumb things and fill up time anyway.
It's easily.
Well, welcome back, sir. Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
We missed you. We're so happy to see you here and make us feel bad with your wonderful tan and your scruff on your face.
Yeah, I'm well overdue for a shave. That's for sure.
Such a man. I want to be like you when I grow up. All right,
that's man.
It. Episode 4, That Range Life, a show sometimes about golf, in the books. We'll see you all next week.